kind of feels like Groundhog Day here.
It feels.
I don't even know what day we're on, but I guess the only thing that's really pushed me forward, as you can see, I got my sweet Stanley Cup shirt on here. So we had a big game again last night. The Oilers pulled out a victory. So I'm feeling a little tired this morning from staying up late watching that, but we're up 3-1 against our rivals down south, the Calgary Flames. So today is a good day. One more win and we're on to the next round. So we'll see how it goes in a couple nights.
You bet. So yeah, like Kevin said, it does feel like Groundhog's Day around here. Okay, so Kevin took holidays to get our May projects done, and we're in week 2.
Just finished week 2, starting my last week here. So it's
yeah,
crunch time.
And you know what? It has been 14 days of choring. Like, we haven't had a whole lot of time off in those last 14 days.
But like I said, when you got an acreage / homestead, the jobs they never end. There's always something to do if you put your mind to it.
Yeah, you bet. So while Kevin's working on the run, I actually have to get out into the garden and get some planting done, because as much as I wanted to have it in for May long weekend, I really didn't get that far. I am stop struggling. I gotta get in there. I've already done my onions and my carrots, but I need to get my fingerling potatoes in, and I would really like to start my corn inside, because I know I'm a couple weeks behind on that already. So yeah, it's crunch time.
Crunch time, go time, whatever you want to call it. It'll be another busy day today. But the good thing is we got the chickens in the coop last night.
And they seem to really like it.
Yeah, for sure. They're settling in. So yeah, we'll see how that goes here in a couple days when we can unleash the chickens into their run and see how happy they are.
Yeah, I can't wait. I think they're absolutely gonna love being outside, and yeah,
and it'll be good. Like I said, the run's in kind of our thicket of bush that we kind of decided to do, so that'll give them some foraging in the leaves and the dirt and whatnot. Yesterday I was working around the coop, seeing a bunch of ants, so like I said, there's gonna be some good food for them there. So we'll get this project cleaned up. Allie will work on her garden and she'll come help me as needed, and hopefully by the end of the day we got another chunk of this done up and just got kind of some loose ends to finish up tomorrow.
I feel like we'll get everything up to the gate today. I have a good feeling that, if we have to work on the gate and buttoning up tomorrow, that would be a real success, I think.
Yeah, 100%. And if we have to work a little bit late tonight, we will, but we'll see how it goes.
I would like to not.
I don't want to work late either. I'm making great progress this morning. One thing I'll note with us having this chicken coop in the bush is it does make it more difficult to do all the stuff on the outside, because the bush is literally right behind you, roots in the ground. But we wanted to get this chicken wire in to make it secure for wildlife, because we have all kinds of it. We actually just heard from our neighbor the other day, they had a fisher last year that got into their coop. So this is good precaution to put this in for us for sure. But it's probably a lot easier in a wide open space to do this. So a little bit extra time in doing this, but everything is coming along nicely. I have this one side here and the back side pretty much done. One thing I will note is, as we did panels for our fencing, I will have to cut a little bit of chicken wire to overlap it to make it, I guess, foolproof tight between the panels where they connect. So now we'll just scoot over to the other side. I'm going to show you one part of the fence that was a little bit odd compared to everything else, but a little bit of tweaking, we got it in nice. So we're on the other side of the chicken run, and one thing where it's different here from everywhere else is we had an elevation change on this corner. So from this post here to the other corner, you can see we've dropped about 8 inches here. So we had to adjust for that, because the one on the other end, if we would have left it at the same height, our post would have been very secure there. So what we did is we grabbed our boards and we did this panel kind of one by one and put it together in place instead of making a panel, because the rigid panel would not allow us to get that angle in place where this all mated nicely. So there was a little bit of trimming of the hardware cloth, to get this one looking nice, but it's pretty much in here now, and we'll get this one secured up on the bottom with this board, and we'll add the chicken wire in on the bottom. The only one thing that added a little bit extra effort here was securing these bottom posts is they landed on our post spike. So what we had to do is we had to drill through this steel support. So what I did was just grabbed a couple of drill bits, did a pilot hole, ran the other one through, and then I was able to put my screw in to secure this post into the metal spike. So overall, just a little bit extra time, but like I said, it's nice and secure and ain't gonna go nowhere. So we'll get this last corner finished up, and then we can move on to the other side of the run and get this thing closed up. We're getting close to the end here. Just getting ready to put my post in up to the coop here. So I know we've talked a lot about these fence post spikes, so I thought I'd show you one and how I adjust it so it's ready to be pounded in. So I just cut a shorter 4x4 post to use this for hammering. Don't want a nice high one to hit in. Obviously that'll be difficult hitting off a ladder. And then like I said, these ones are adjustable with the 4 bolts, which I do recommend you getting instead of the fixed ones, because if you pound this in and it's crooked in any way, that's how your post is gonna sit. Well, this one has adjustable screws on either side, which the post tilts either way so you can level it up. So again, I would definitely recommend the adjustable ones. So now I got this tightened up as level as possible, and all we're gonna do is put our post right up against the building here. Just grab our hammer, just pull it out so it's not rubbing on the way down. And as you're putting it in, just make sure you're keeping an eyeball on your level to make sure you're not crooked when you're going in. And I'll just leave it a little bit high for now because what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring that corner of the fence over and get that all leveled up first before I get this final height of this post figured out. I put this post in first before we came out that way. So what I'll do is, again, I'll get out my trusty string line and square, and I will bring the string line across, and where it intersects, that's where I know my other post needs to be. Just because if you're doing it all by eye, it's very easy to get out a square. And in this 12-foot run, you know, you're out by a 1/4 inch here. At the far end, you're 3-4 inches out. So it's important, again, to use a string line and square. Like I said, I use them all the time, and like I said, it makes everything nice and neat. So as you can see, they pound in fairly easy, and we're very happy with how they turned out using them on our chicken run. I didn't quite get as far as I wanted to yesterday. The plan was to have this post in and this part of the fence done for the run. Obviously that didn't happen. It took me a little bit longer to do all the fine tuning on the chicken wire that prevents any animals from digging underneath the fence. So that was a little bit of a tedious job, but it's done and out of the way. So today we're gonna get this last post pounded in, and then we'll look to get this panel built. Once this post is in, we can take a quick measurement and figure out how big we have to build this. This panel over here is our typical 8-foot panel, so that'll be steady as she goes, as we made all the other ones throughout the project. And then once that one's in, then we can measure our entrance for the gate and get that built and put together. So when putting this last post in, what I had done was I'd run my string line out from this edge, and I got it pegged back there, and then I squared off the coop and ran my other string line here, and we have an intersecting point, and this is going to be where my corner post sits. And I just want to make sure that my string lines are just touching the outside to make sure we're square. So that's all done, so we can get going here on getting this one pounded in and continue moving forward on getting these panels done and closing up the coop and getting ready to free the chickens. With all the hard work we've had over the last couple of days, we decided to give ourselves a little break this morning. So we went to the town just next to us for a nice little Friday gallivant, which was fairly nice. We hit up PV Mart, Canadian Tire, and a few other places, and picked up a few things that we needed, and probably some other stuff that we didn't need. No.
We did pick up though an automatic chicken door, and I'm really excited for that. We're not pressed on installing it right away because I will be manually locking the chickens in the coop until we get the roof on. But for right now, I'm excited about that.
Yeah, it'll be a pretty cool feature moving forward.
So what do we have left?
The only stuff that we have left is we'll get this door framed in and mounted, and then we have all the exterior that we'll have to backfill over top of this chicken wire that we put down to prevent any animals from digging in under the bottom of the fence.
You bet. And like, not a moment too soon, because when we got back from shopping this morning, I checked on the eggs in the incubator and we have 2 that are pipping.
You betcha.
I'm so excited.
We're getting this wrapped up just in time. Like I said, free the chickens, and then we'll get the other ones set up in the garage for the next month or whatever, until we have time that we can introduce them into this other flock and get them going together.
Yeah, I am super excited. The end is in sight for this part of the project. Like, stage 1 is pretty much almost done, and it feels good.
It feels good. Yeah, it was a long push this week, some later nights, early mornings, but we got through it and got it done. We kind of set our deadline for Friday at the end of this week to have it all finished up, and that's kind of where we're at. So
yeah, I'm definitely impressed with us.
Yeah, for sure.
And not to mention, like, a lot of this Kevin has done by himself while I did other stuff. I helped whenever he needed like a second set of hands, but I've also planted the garden in this week. I've done a lot of other things that aren't related to this that kept me busy, aside from, you know.
And that's one good thing to have is, you know, when you can divide and conquer on like projects that only need one person, and then just take somebody when you need them for, you know, a half an hour, 45 minutes, you can get an awful lot more done instead of have one person kind of watching over the other person do a job that can be done by themselves. So
I agree.
We got a lot done this week, still a lot more to go, but we'll close up this project and see what comes next.
Yeah, planting all the flowers that I started.
Yeah, planting. We got lots of planting to do by next Tuesday.
I also bought 5 more lilac trees today.
A little bit of an obsession, but it's all good. It'll be great for our food forest moving forward. Bring lots of pollinators to the yard. Yeah, it'll be good.
It'll be really good.
My lilacs bring the pollinators to the yard. Pollinators to the yard. We're out here hanging out in the sunshine in the finished run. It's great to have this finished up and have the chickens out here enjoying all the fresh air and nature how it should be.
Yeah, you bet. This project was a little bit of a slog, but we got her done based on, you know, we just wanted to free the chickens, as we kept saying. And it's been about 4 weeks since we buttoned it up, and I must say that Kevin and I are absolutely loving having this enclosed run done. We have spent a lot of time hanging with our chickens, and we have, I think that they have been absolutely loving the outdoors.
Yeah. So with that being said, we're gonna kind of close this portion of the project up. We are probably gonna have one more video to show you guys how we're gonna enclose the roof, because we did talk about earlier that we did have some predators in the area, and we'll discuss those a little bit further once we get to that portion.
We are definitely looking forward to having this coop and run fully, completely, as far as we can see, predator proof. That will give us a little bit of peace of mind when we do have to leave our chickens, because we do like to go camping, and we do like to go and do things, and sometimes we're not always here to let them in and out. So that is the next big hurdle for us.
Yeah, we'll get that finished up, and we'll have peace of mind that we could leave at any point knowing our chickens will be secure and safe.
Yeah.
So stay tuned for that video to come, but hopefully you enjoyed the project so far, and hope you come along for other ones down the road.